the DJI Flip drone. This is a 4K 60p drone that has some self-flying modes and some other really cool features.
Now, it wasn't that long ago they launched the DJI Neo, which is a super tiny little drone which is getting really good press and we really like. We added it to our kit, we like it so much. But this is an updated version or a new and advanced, and it's the first time I've seen a design like this from DJI, and I really like that they're innovating the design. I mean, it's so cool.
It literally flips out. It's a really cool design. It is a sub 250 gram drone, which means that you can fly this whether you're a beginner, a content creator. You don't have to get too serious about it. And it has a lot of features that make it so you can really fly it on your own.
Now, it does come in a couple different configurations. You can buy just the drone on its own, you can buy it with the RC2 Remote, or you can buy the Fly More combo, which gives you 3 extra batteries and the quad charger.
Yeah, it's really a complete package for somebody that wants to travel around. They want to add something to their kit that they can do either with a friend or completely on their own. We found it really great today. And when you have the Fly More kit, you actually have 4 batteries in total with a quad charger. So you can just charge your batteries on the go if you have a power pack.
And it's great because as you're depleting one battery, you can certainly grab another one. They're charging in enough time where you can shoot all day long basically with this. It's a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it also includes a nice case for making it really portable to bring around with you. And it's really the complete package. Now, if you want to get this drone on your own, you can actually utilize this using the app. DJI has a great app and we're finding it to be shockingly intuitive. We found it with the Neo as well, and this follows that same process.
Yeah, they make it very intuitive, like Evelyn said. It is nice, you can just get up and running and there's not a lot of hurdles to jump through, and it's something you're
like
flying.
Step by step. Yeah, exactly. You can get up, you can get going, really easy to do. And this is cool because there are 6 self-flying modes that you can do with this. And so we really enjoyed the rocket mode where the whole drone basically ascends up with the camera pointing down at you, and then it can descend back down and get some really cool shots that way. It also has a circle mode, it has helix, it has droney, it has a follow mode. And Dave was able to even go through some tight crevices where we were over by the grain elevators, and it was able to keep up and didn't have any issues with obstacles.
It's quite fun to sort of see how the drone autonomously works and how it tracks you. So even when I was crawling down from the rail car there, it's kind of funny because it didn't find my face for a second. It just sort of hung out there until it found me again. And then I jumped off the train and then it found me down below. And it said, hey, I'm coming home, I'm gonna find you.
Yeah.
This is great.
And you can take off with the press of a button, and you can also have it land back in your hands. So you can be like Cinderella waiting for your drone to one day return back to you. It's really satisfying and fun to use. The biggest upgrade from the Neo is that the Flip actually has a better video system. So we have some more advanced features. First of all, we love that you can shoot 4K 60. This matches with our regular workflow that we're using with Sony cameras. In the past, we've used Panasonic, and using the 4K 60 footage is nice to pair with those cameras.
Yeah, and we also have D-Log as well, which is great if we want to step up our video even more.
Yeah, what that gives you is a more flexible profile. So with the Neo, you had just this one very contrasty profile. You didn't have a lot of latitude with it, but this is giving you more options. We also have better ISO performance. And if you want, you can buy some ND filters to help you control exposure, because this has a fixed f1.7 lens.
Now, it is a 6.7mm lens. They're giving us a 24mm equivalent. So it's a very practical focal range to kind of fly around with and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of width within your frame. And because you're shooting 4K 60, you do have a little bit of that cropping room as well.
Now, it is a 12 megapixel sensor, but it is a quad Bayer sensor, so you can get 48 megapixel still images out of here. However, I don't find it stacks up to other cameras that are in that 45 megapixel range. For the price you're paying for this drone and what you're getting out of it, the images look quite good.
Yeah, you do have the ability to shoot RAW or JPEG. So when you're shooting RAW, you have a little bit of that dynamic range to play with. Definitely something nice with this camera. Probably the most fun thing, and I think the coolest thing about the new DJI drones, including the Neo and this one, the Flip, is some of these self-fly modes. So there's a lot of flexibility on how you're able to fly this particular drone, and we've had a lot of fun with it.
I mean, yeah, the follow me mode, I really quite like that, as it just tracks you as you're walking through adventures. And I was actually really impressed with how close it could work with me as we were walking between the train and the building there. it's not that big wide of a corridor, and it followed me without any problems whatsoever. But having that ability just to have that third-party view, having that cameraman with you when you're by yourself is fantastic.
Yeah, let's say you want to have more manual control. You can do that through the app as well, although it is definitely going to be easier if you're using the RC2 Remote.
Yeah, 100%. If I'm using just my phone, I'm using one of the pre-programmed modes. I'm not necessarily flying it manually through my phone. I want to use the RC2 Remote.
Yeah, and those modes look so fantastic. Now, why would you want to use the manual control? Well, the biggest thing is if you want to use 4K 60, you actually have to go in manual control. Otherwise, you're locked off at 4K 30. So that's the same as the Neo. So if you're someone that is just purely shooting with those modes, the Neo might actually be still a good option for you. One other thing that we noticed is that you don't have manual exposure control when you are using the preset modes. So as fun as they are and satisfying to use, you don't have that manual control. But you know, we're finding that if you trust in the Flip, then you're gonna get some really nice exposures. And on a nice day today, that's not too hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, it does, stepping you up in your video and the functionality, being able to put ND filters on there certainly does step up your game. It elevates it, which is really nice. However, it is a fun drone, right? It's that next level from the Neo, which takes you to the next level. But if you're in the market where you're needing a higher quality drone footage, I would certainly look for higher end models than this particular drone. But the quality you're getting out of it for what it's designed for, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, the other limitation that we have to mention is with the lightweight drones, one of the maybe obvious things is they're not quite as stable as maybe you would think. This definitely is a very stable and impressive design. However, if it's really big winds, especially more than 38 kilometers, which it's rated for, you're not going to have stable footage out there. So it's something to be mindful of and be careful, especially if you're like in the mountains or you're in a more kind of rugged terrain.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a fair weather kind of drone, I would say.
Beautiful sunny day drone, absolutely.
Light breezy day, it's okay. Windy day, not so much. You're going to be struggling. Now, a little trick feature I really appreciate on this drone is that it does come with 2 gigabytes of internal storage, because from somebody who sometimes forgets the micro SD cards, so you do need to use the V30 cards, and as big as you can handle, because it does draw a fair amount of memory if you're using the 4K 30 or 4K 60.
Yeah, so it's those little micro SD cards, same kind of idea that you'd put in a GoPro. And of course you can use an adapter if you have an SD card reader to transfer that footage. And then you can also transfer the footage using USB-C.
Yeah, 100%. But having 2 gigs built in, it's kind of a nice little fail-safe there in case you forget the micro SD card.
Another cool trick feature that is on this is the ability to record audio with some filtration. Now, if you've never heard a drone before like this, it has this very recognizable kind of buzzing sound. And because of that, DJI has some software that's built into it so you can record the audio to your phone, and it's going to use the software to attempt to get rid of that propeller sound. And we found it works pretty well. There's 2 different modes. There's a natural mode, which minimizes it quite a bit. You can still hear it a tiny bit in the high frequencies, or you can put it into the pure mode, which really blocks it out. It maybe sounds a little bit more kind of filtered, but that definitely is an option if you want to be able to get rid of that propeller noise almost completely.
Now I'm finding, because the propeller is a little bit bigger on this compared to the Neo, it's actually not terrible at all. I don't find the drone, once it's a little bit further away from you, it's not bad at all. It's a little quieter than other drones I've seen.
Now, if you're looking at this and you want to look at some comparables, obviously we talked about the Neo, which is kind of one step down. Now, if you look at a price point above this, you have the Mini 4K Pro drone, but that one with the exposed propellers, the lack of automated features, it's not as beginner friendly for someone that's just getting into using a drone and they want to add something that's kind of fun and intuitive to their kit.
Exactly. I mean, you can go as far as you want with DJI as far as the quality goes and the size of drones, but there might be special licensing and everything else involved. This, I think, strikes that sweet spot of being just a super fun drone that gives you very good quality video, but is so easy to use and gets those great content for you.
I'm really excited about what DJI is doing in terms of making it more accessible to fly a drone. In terms of the price point, but also the usability of having these auto fly modes makes this really fun to use. But of course, we want to know, what are your thoughts on this? What about the direction of DJI? Let us know in the comments below.
And what do you guys think of the design of this drone and how it folds up into a very compact size? Follow us both on Instagram.
And if you're new to our channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. It's been Dave and Evelyn from the Camera Store, and we'll catch you again very soon. This is the DJI Flip Neo. No, it's not. Hey, sorry.